Hello everyone, today we're going to do a reading on the big O. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please use your own fact-finding. Oprah. So if you've seen any of my readings, you probably know that I've always said I don't like her energy, and I've said it especially when I've done the Maui readings and probably in other readings. So in the last reading, when I checked in on a question on her with regards to Diddy, I wonder if the name Diddy is going to become sensitive, to be honest with you. But then when they want to take someone down, they won't sensitize it. But when they don't want to take someone down, they'll sensitize it. And I don't know why, but I feel that case is being very closed, where you can't tell what evidence they're allowing in, what evidence they're not allowing in. And I just feel it's very closed. So not only we're not getting told everything, I think they're being selective on what they allow in. And like I said, which goes back to what I mentioned in a reading, is that they will be pick and choosing. Like, they will want to know who's involved, but at the same time not, because then they have to go over after those people. So for example, the Delphi Richard Allen case, I feel like they're very pick and choosy and full focused on one person, and eliminating other people. If you haven't seen my readings, you can check that out. But let's focus on Oprah. So we're going to do a reading on her. When I was thinking about her, I feel like she has a protective energy. I think she might get somebody who does like a protective clothing, cloaking over her, like a protective shield, like a ritualism shield from people. I was thinking, and then I was taken to sort of like her home, and it's kind of like when you step at her door and you want to enter, it's kind of like she wants you to say something. And when I was thinking of this, I feel like it's something Jewish or Kabbalic. Now, I don't know that she's into Jewish or she I think it's Christianity, but there is something there that I think she follows in terms of Kabbalah. And I think the word might be a Kabbalah, like when you arrive to visit her, whatever it is, you will say that word at the door before you enter, or as you're entering. I feel like she says it, and just in general, it's expected of you to say it. So the protective energy around her obviously tries to stop anyone entering her energy, and as well as energy readers to read her energy. But you can kind of get in there, but it's very protective. And that's why some people might find it difficult to read her energy. Although, once something gets out against someone, generally in the social media, everyone hops on the bandwagon. I feel like she can turn a blind eye to stuff where you don't know what she's thinking. And she can be very ignorant to things that she doesn't want to, like in a gaslight way. So a bit superficial to what she might regard disposable people. So for example, if you were to say something to her and she doesn't agree, or she does agree, do you know when they're listening but they're not absorbing or caring, they're just, they'll give you a smile and a response. And some people, depending on how much you can connect to energy, will probably believe what she's saying, like she's been really nice, she's connected, etc. But there is that superficiality there that I feel. I do think she has a spiritual practice that she does every morning and every evening. I'm not sure what it is, but I do think there is a spiritual practice that she does. And I'm always reluctant to say ritual, because some people connect it totally always to black magic. And it's interesting, as I said, that the candle's flame let off a black smoke. But yeah, I think she can be a bit passive aggressive, like she'll turn a closed blind eye where it's not suitable, on stuff that She probably knows a lot of stuff and she turns a blind eye, which they all do, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure why I get like she's loyal to Harvey Weinstein. Was he a film producer? Um, I should have really looked it up. Um, Harvey Weinstein. Oh, he went to jail. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I do feel that there's a loyalty there. I don't know how they tie in together. Um, the other thing that I want to say is she's protected herself very well, and she will be protected, or people will protect her and navigate, distract, or come out and speak good about her if needed, which will distract you from elements. So she's very well protected in that essence. She has people that will do that for her. In the last, when I asked the question, I felt like there was a bit of, if anything, there was a bit of, as opposed to the trafficking side, it's more around the money. Probably, questionable of where her assets are, where the money's going. So I don't think she's going to go down totally. I can't see that right now, honestly. I do think there's going to be crumbles coming up here and there over time about her. Um, but so it's going to be bubbling always, simmering to the top, and then goes down, and the same thing. I do think like whenever that kind of thing comes up for her, she's going to be kind of like, I'll donate, or she'll speak about humanity. And it's kind of like buying loyalty and emotions. That's the kind of energy I get from her. It's very difficult to get into her inner core and inner energy. And I think that's from the protection. She will, when needed, use the power and wisdom of tools to control things, to remain under the radar of where there could be a question, whatever that is. I think I might pull cards on the relationship between her and Gail, and then she's been with this boyfriend for quite some time, hasn't she? Or she changed boyfriend, or she married him. I remember a tall, kind of lighter skin race, black guy, I think, with grey hair. Um, so let's get into the other thing I want to say is that her and even Ellen, right? And I think Ellen's reputation is getting brewed at the moment, so I'm not sure about that. But people, I think, what you need to know is that the gifts they've given, and sometimes when we're younger, you don't understand this. But her energy was always an energy that I didn't really agree. Like, I just didn't, I never bought into it, even when I was younger, and everyone was like, Oprah, she gives away so much, she's so charitable. I'm going to ask a question on this, but these gifts are product placements of marketing from companies that give away like the free odd car or the free home kitchen full of cabinets of food. It's not actually her donating from her own monies. You know what I mean? It's those. So people tend to think it's her when, I'd probably say 95% of the time, it's actually the only time she might do it is when it will be known, or if she's building something, that's when she's probably charitable. But on the show of giving things away, she doesn't need to, because she will get these things. And I think I'm confident in saying that. It's interesting. Spirit is telling me to take this card, and it says, all, I knew it would be all tied up in reverse. And I do think I think this is like the protective that she's got around her. It's interesting because the numerology tells me there's a bit of a change that's probably going to happen here. And, it's also in reverse, which is something to take note of. but the whole deck is in reverse at the moment, I think, because if I look, yeah, it's all in reverse. So I mean, it's not, it's just, I think she's feeling that she needs to assess every way that she needs to move. At the moment, she's just feeling like she can't move freely. She needs to assess every move because of what's in the news, obviously. Okay, so let's go to this deck. Oh, there was already 5 cards out, no problem. It's interesting because I think she speaks of gratitude, and looking at the bottom of the deck, there is a bit of a tower moment around that. And while I was saying that, I think she can be a bit demanding in what pleases her. Like, it's not the simple things of gratitude. I don't think she's a major team player like she is. And I think she might be stuck on wealth and luxury things as opposed to the more simple things, okay? Definitely what she can stabilize, what she can add to her own home. Her home is kind of like her safe haven, but not, I don't mean it in the way that we get back from work and we open the door, we're like, oh, finally home. No, I feel it like she enters and it's kind of like mesmerizing. Like it's a home, but it's kind of like she really builds on it constantly to have this kind of entering into like a totally different vibe. Like you get pulled in. There's issues here with childhood, and that's been an heavy burden. We do see a tower. This is her overall energy as a person, okay? Not right now. I think she's always felt a lack of stability in home because probably of her past, and that might be the reason why she exceeds kind of like an aura in her own home. It's very it's interesting. It's kind of like she does some sort of this kind of like getting certain things in certain positions and then a mesmerizing energy vaporizing. It's very interesting. So she is very, very, very anxious at the moment. She's very paranoid. I think she's actually, she could be, I'm not sure if she stopped drinking or she ever did, but I think she's getting involved in things, coping mechanisms. There is definitely something where she's really worried about it and she's having sleepless nights. Firstly, I think this is to do with, I know she's built a school. There's something there. I think there's one kind of thing that she, it's very obvious, but it's not been seen yet, okay? And I think that worries her. Secondly, the passing of someone's, and I'm getting, because I was thinking of doing a reading, Clive Davis. He's just come up. And the passing of somebody is interesting. Can you hear the ambulance? and or the fire brigade. I will go into that because I want to say something about that in Clive Davis' read, but it connects to who it could be. The passing of someone's not exing or expiry is also on her mind. Kind of like at the moment, she had something that she'd been working on for quite some time that she really wanted to go forward with, but at the moment she's like assessing, is it the right time? Is it the right thing to go forward on? So I don't know, we might not know what this plan was, because it sounds like it's something she was working on, and then it's kind of like she's not able to go forward with it. So she's thinking, should I go forward? Should I not? And there's a little bit of selfishness here, and possibly taking some shortcuts on something, and being overly conventional, maybe focused on a little bit of money. This thing is at the moment, I think she's worried about her monies, and yeah, it's very interesting, very heavy. Her energy at the moment is extremely heavy. So I do think there's a bit of her relationship in focus. I was going to say it here if this comes out. Her relationship could be taking a bit of a focus, but I think this is actually a partnership, a friendship. And I think that friendship is going to, they're going to pull away from each other because of the current circumstances. And I don't think they will go back to being a friendship, but it is causing really anxiety, and she's feeling a loss of faith at the moment in terms of this. She might be, when you get so pressurized, you think of like, you don't think before making like a decision and you just jump for it. I think she needs to be careful on terms of doing that, because she might be a bit naive in terms of assuming an answer. So I feel like she's assumed an answer here, especially with this person who's a friend or something that she's breaking away from because of the current situation. And there's a bit of foolishness here, with a possibility of needing to hold herself back from impulsive decisions. Now, this person could be an Aries. I'm not sure what her sign is. She could be an Aquarius, okay? Which means that she's always kind of thinking out the box. The way she thinks is deep, and we're not always able to see it from her perspective, okay? And there is something that she's a bit worried about, a loss, she feels in despair, a loss of faith here. I don't know who this person is, but it could be an Aries. It could also be a Capricorn, and also they could have had a fight that each one's saying, you've betrayed me, or, because of the current circumstances. But also, I think this whole thing about somebody's DEAF, DETH, is also weighing on her mind. That might come out. And that person could be a Leo energy. Oh my God, I think it's the person who I was saying with Clive Davis. I'm going to have to check that person before I say it. And it also ties into that fire brigade ambulance noise, which will be interesting. I hope I remember to ask the question to see if yeah, okay. I wish I had a pen, if I've got a pen, so that I can just write it. I'm going to also check if that person is a Leo. So yeah, definitely, I feel like she's definitely been very, before all this, she's been very careful about how she has moved things around. There could be, you know, if they investigate into her assets or her monies, there could be something there, but I don't think they are going to do that. Like where she's backing up funds. I'm also getting that she's actually funded donations to the parties. And we did get that, by the way, in the first reading. I was saying about movement of money. Not the first reading, sorry. When I asked in Diddy's read. So the relationship between her and Gail is very much focused on money, okay, and what one party can get out of it. And I presume it's Gail, how she perceives what she can get out of Oprah. What is Gail's star sign? They've been friends for a long time, which we know, okay. There is something there that is a bit fishy in terms of some kind of clue that could lead us to kind of seeing something not right with their friendship. And this is about giving money. And I think it's to like children or the school. It's interesting. So Gail's feelings towards Oprah, she's definitely helped her begin a new career. I think at one stage I saw that Gail was doing a TV show, or was it on the back end of Oprah or Oprah's TV? Because she's bought a TV channel, didn't she? Do I remember that right? Ages ago, instead of just her own show. But she's a bit, either Gail feels it's Oprah or Oprah feels it's Gail. Oh no, it's Gail that feels Oprah. Is a bit complains a bit. But she definitely feels that Oprah helped her move her life forward when her life was very much in a stuck position. It's interesting. She feels that not much satisfies Oprah. She can complain a bit. Okay. Let's take these as well. Spirit's told me to look at this bottom card. It's interesting. I was getting that in the Gail feeling towards Oprah, like the new beginning of her career, moving it forward. And this is in a challenging position. Oprah towards Gail. Do you know what? it came to my mind, but I was like, can it be that they've done stuff together beyond just a friendship? And I won't be surprised if kind of like one of them is on the bi side and they have kind of done stuff together. I do get that. I think Oprah's got a hold on Gail, okay, beyond just what the friendship is. I think there's kind of an energy tie she's got on her. I don't know if they're still talking. I don't know if they still work together. Oprah's very much focused on monies, okay, and I feel like she kind of really pays close attention to Gail. Um, she feels, and this one, she feels like, I wonder if Gail's a fire sign, I really do. She feels like Gail has really helped her, given her motivation where she hasn't had the motivation, but I think she's helped her build upon, again, I go back to the children and the school here. She's been kind of like this ray of light at the same time. I think she feels like she's like this positive omen in her life. And that's why she's probably got a grab on her. It's very interesting. There is some kind of overindulgence that they've done together. And I feel like Oprah seems to be the one that says, let's do this. And it's not great stuff, right? Let's see the relationship between Oprah and the guy, her boyfriend. Hopefully they're still together because I'm reading on the guy that's tall, he's black race, I believe, but he's a light skin, and he's got grey hair. I'm getting that they don't have intercourse. They don't have intercourse. It's more like a partnership. It's more like, you know, as you get older, you probably just want someone around the house, etc. It's more like a partnership where they've become used to each other, which might explain the things that is happening on with Gail. Their relationship, yeah, so very much holding on to the relationship. I do think that maybe the way the relationship is presenting, that it's all harmonious and everything's great, but actually what we know of the relationship is not how it is. There has been very challenging times, and I would say these challenging times, there's been little niggles in social media, either about him and his reputation or something to do with that. However, it seems like they've overcome this, and very much it's more like a partnership. And she's like the well, she's the Queen of Pentacles at home. Like she runs it all. She has it all together. It's kind of like their land or whatever they've got behind their garden. They're behind their. It's interesting. I said behind their garden. So I wonder if they're slowly expanding their garden or using whatever's behind their land that's probably not used as whatever they're, you know, just like also flowering it or whatever, or expanding its wall a little bit. So that's their relationship. It seems like it's been a bit, tricky at times, and she has it all together when it's at the home. The home seems like a happy place, okay? I do think, like I said, the things that I mentioned. There is a bit of ego, okay? There is a bit of ego here, and there is, I do think that one of them or both of them do drink. There is a smugness, there is, it's weird energy. It's kind of like, I'll give you, if you do, it's kind of like someone has a big ego, and it might be her to him, where it's kind of like, if he does certain things, then she'll be more generous with, I don't know, monies or stuff like that. But there is a kind of like, I don't know how to describe the energy I'm feeling with the Nine of Cups. There's something about their relationship that's just not right. And there's something about, like, one of them feels, and it's at different times, one of them will feel like they're over the moon about something, and then the other one will. It's not like it's at the same time all the time, but it seems like when they're at home, there is that bit of a great energy, but there's just a weird energy. And when this came out, Spirit was like, you shouldn't have taken this card, the Ten of Wands. But there is, look, there's a lot of choices and decisions in this relationship where they've turned a blind eye on stuff. And I think you probably can guess some of the stuff I've mentioned. What else can we ask? I think that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a like, subscribe. You can join Patreon memberships and support the channel however you wish to, should you want to see more content and the content that you enjoy. Take care of yourselves, and bye for now.